In this video, we're going to break down the design of this simple walkway arbor that is really fantastic and provides a lot of support to climbing plants that you might have in your garden. And this was shared a little while ago by Jenny, and this is really cool. It's made entirely out of 3/4 inch off-the-shelf electrical conduit, which is a steel tubing made for electrical work, but we like to use it for building things, and we actually manufacture fittings out of steel in upstate South Carolina that you can use to join pieces of VMT conduit together and build all kinds of stuff. And this is a really cool arbor that Jenny put together. And as you can see, it's meant to go over top of the walkway that she has here next to her garden. And she essentially just wanted to add some trellising and some support to her plants, but she didn't want to build a structure inside of her garden and take up a lot of room. She wanted it to be kind of next to her garden, and she used it here above the walkway, which was a great use of space to avoid adding a large structure in the actual garden, because this overhead space and this space around the walkway isn't really used that much. You just kind of walk underneath it, and she's still able to do that with the structure that she put together. So we're just going to break down the design of this and hopefully give you some inspiration if you want to build something similar. Essentially, this just has 4 verticals, 1 in each corner, and it's spaced apart to be, these verticals are on the outside of the walkway, as you can see here. And the beauty of building something with empty conduit and maker pipe is you can customize it fully for your space and for your specific needs. And you can use a handheld tubing cutter to customize the dimensions, and then you just need a 5mm hex wrench to put connections together, and you don't have to do any drilling or any welding, so it's really forgiving and really modular. But essentially just has these 4 verticals spaced apart. We can see the chickens down there on the walkway underneath, but got these 4 verticals spaced apart. And then essentially the very top is where we see kind of the main construction of the frame. And Jenny used 4 of the 90-degree connectors, 1 on each corner on this side, and the same thing on the opposite end back there. So there's 8 total 90-degree fittings making this rectangular box up here. And so essentially there's just kind of a horizontal piece there going across there, and then in the back the exact same design. So 8 90-degree connectors at the top just to make this this cube structure at the very top, and just has 2 sets of rungs all the way around, which provides a lot of support to the frame. And then essentially we can see they've also got a bunch of maker pipe T connectors. I think there's 1, 2, let's see if there's any more there. I think there. So I think 4 T connectors to add cross supports all the way to the other side. And this is just providing some support to the cattle panels that they have secured to the frame, which is what the plants are actually climbing on and grabbing onto. But then there's just a bunch of those going all the way across between those 2 Ts, just all the way across to the other side there. And so that's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8 T connectors and 8 90-degree connectors so far. And then we can also see a few more T connectors just to provide some more lateral support. So there's 1 there going all the way across, or 2 T connectors with a piece of conduit going all the way across. Same thing on the other side. So that's 4 more T connectors just to add that cross support. And then I believe she did that 1 more time, a little bit of the way up here. Where is that? Oh yeah, there's that T. And then the crossbar between that. And that's just going to provide a lot of support laterally to the frame, and is nice and simple to add with just a few T connectors. So now we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 more T connectors. So that's 16 total T connectors and 8 total 90-degree connectors. And that's pretty much it for the main part of this frame. This is the whole trellis frame put together. And then it's just a matter of putting the trellis netting and the different things on the frame that you need. You could turn this into a shade if you wanted to. You just add a sunshade stretched over it. You could do all kinds of stuff. But she's using this as a trellis, as we can see, with everything climbing up. And essentially she just used some cattle panels attached to the outside of the frame. You can zip tie those on there really easily, and they're a really great strong support for plants. We've also seen people just use the classic trellis netting or chicken fencing. There's all kinds of different stuff that you can secure to the outside of the frame, and you can secure that with zip ties, and it's going to do a fantastic job of providing climbing support to your plants. And you can customize the dimensions of this. Like I said, you can make it longer just using the tubing cutter to get those dimensions exactly how you need. And there's a lot of possibilities with this. And something that you might want to do with this is, of course, you want it to be secure. And so we don't see exactly how that Jenny secured this, and it could just be freestanding on the outside of the trellis, and then the plants are weighing it down, and keeping it stable. But you could also add some rebar stakes in the ground. You can just hammer those in. I like to get these specific ones from Lowe's. I'll link those down below that you can use. But the 3/4 inch empty conduit slides over top of them really easily and provides a good stable base. So you might want to incorporate those. But a lot of ways you can customize this. Like I said, the dimensions are totally customizable depending on your space and your needs, and you can do all kinds of stuff with this. So hopefully it was inspiring for you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those down below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.